legs have trod the vast expanse of this God-forsaken wilderness. My heart has craved the embrace of anything warm to call my home, but all in vain. You see, as a kid, I repeatedly gave permission to my superiors to starve my freedom of choice of attention, until it died and resurrected as an undying apparition haunting the hallways of my mind, seeking to feed its hunger. I was filled with the incessant need to make my parents proud. So I prowled through academia like a madman Pafishala. I studied Nefetala. I became good at homeschool church Nefiashala. I got my best scores, brought the results home. 7th grade, 792 was my score. I was the 4th best at my school. My ego was fed too. I felt cooler than Max Cool, but my excitement was stopped dead in its tracks. Quantiva Bwana Bakunda Party.
Ella, freeze it.
You see, at the moment when I thought I would get some words of approval, all I remember being told was that I didn't reach the cut-off points needed by material boys by 8 marks.
By 8 marks. See, my eyes have scoured the earth for signs of hope. This wilderness has birthed the beast that stands before you when I was young. See, I remember how that my journeys to school always felt like a movie. It always felt like one that I role-played both as driver and conductor. The enrollment at Rugamba Private School saw a 2-year, 8-month-old bouncing baby boy begin his initiation into a system that would, with time, brainwash. I mean, teach him that he had no voice, teach him that he had to tone it down, teach him that he had to give it a little space. And so, with that, died and became the hunting ground of my burial ground.
For 8th grade, the system forced me to fall in line. I was taken to a school I'd never even heard of, a school I didn't even want to go to. Rusango, boarding, theft, boredom, it was bookie, truly, you see. I didn't know how to sell food or fans. So I ran through groceries a little too quick. I was always broke before the 8th week, but as my stomach growled, my mind grasped as much as it could, you see. I still craved cute, clever compliments, so I double-dosed on doing dope deeds. I doused desks in my presence. I dove deep in books from the AMs to the PMs. 9th grade, 463 was my grade, but Mom's comment might as well have given me a migraine, she said. Only if you got a 500, you would have made it to Hillcrest.
Hillcrest was apparently the goal. When I was 11, I saw the body of a man I had grown to call father and dad beloved, 6 feet deep into the ground. Now, pardon me, I've always been a wrestling kid from the time I was smaller, so I was out there looking, trying to see if my dad would then take on the body of the phenom and do the dead man walking, but no. See, he was shot stiff in that white uniturtle coffin, and with that, the revolver that had an extension was pierced according to my heart, and it silenced my emotion. And that day, see, that day was a death sentence for my vulnerability.
Death sentence of vulnerability and the unavailability of fathers. Even as a grown man, I still crave approval what I've done. But with no mom to shower me the motherly words of affection, I resorted to the second best option. Not to mean I don't love my dad, but pray tell, how does a grown man tell a fellow man that he wishes to hear a compliment from him sometimes? I devised a dope plan to let him give a speech at my wedding. Yeah. That would have definitely worked. I told him about this weeks prior. He told me he was going to do it, and the big day came. I sat at the high table, and then the MC called,
"Representatives from the groom's side, please take your stand."
I sat there next to my newly wedded wife, staring at my father, a huge smile on my heart. My ego probably did a couple of backflips because this was the moment of truth. I was going to hear the words from him I have never heard before, but then I just saw him whisper something to a grandfather sitting next to him. A man I had barely spent enough time around to know anything about me for sure. That I saw this old man stand and give the speech, and so died my dream, and my core remained as the unwitting burial ground.
The unwitting burial ground that can perhaps become the ashes from which a phoenix or rather beasts can rise. See, A couple of months ago, I turned 27. And for the first time in a long time, I finally felt free, or the chains and the shackles that were holding me just fell to the ground. See, just like now you see me, now you don't the magic tricks that kept me hypnotized and had me clouded, lost their grip and loosened their grip. Now see, and now, well now, in its place was born something different, a relentless, self-sufficient being, born from the bitter broken beginning, tired of begging for permission to live. Brother, let that boldness boil over and let the rest of the world see who you truly are, a beast.